Welcome back to the InherAlchemist TV. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look into Kimmy Scott, Kimmy and Maurice Scott, but mainly Kimmy Scott of Love and Marriage Huntsville. This reading was inspired by this little snippet that I saw at the end of last night's episode with Kimmy and Mel exchanging words at the reunion. And I said, woo, hold the line. What is all this energy? And you know, I just had to get on these cards and see what was going on. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I have about 4 readings recorded for this week, so we'll drop a video a day. The weekends, I'm not sure because I'm busy. You guys know I'm working on my side business and things like that. But I want to keep things current because this energy in this sector changes like, you know, it's like if you don't jump on it, the moment is past. I mean, the retention, the retention and attention span. Well, I can't say attention span because you guys like to enjoy and luxuriate, you know, in content. And I kind of like that. Because it takes me a while to warm up to what I'm looking at sometimes. But anyways, having said that, I got some readings recorded and we're going to keep it lit all week long to entertain us during our work week for those of us who are working that proverbial 9 to 5. So if I didn't say it already, please like my video. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel and also that you have your notification bells on. So listen, let me start by saying that I don't mind Kimmy as a character. I like Kimmy. Her role on the show has seemed to change or seem to evolve into what I like to call the pot stirrer. I feel like she spent a lot of time this season, and maybe it could just be me because I was in and out, but I feel like she was being a bit of a bone carrier. And I'm really sick of this word about holding people accountable. It's like nobody can hold anybody else accountable. Mind your business, submit your plans and your prayers to God, and move forward. But I don't like her being this accountability person. As she kind of like stirs the pot between the ladies, but she is a good pot stirrer. And I feel like she's managing to keep all eyes off of her, but I'm still getting this covert bully vibe. And I just kind of wanted to delve into that hunch. I'm not looking for the confirmation bias. I'm just kind of seeing things for what they are. With her and Melody, I felt like Kimmy has maintained a certain rapport with Melody, but I also feel like it's fake from the perspective of keep your enemies, what do they say? Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. I think that she maintains a relationship or a level with Melody as a form of keeping your enemies close, if you will. So I've never felt the authenticity behind that relationship or the connection. Other than too, that she has the same type of force behind her that Destiny has when it comes to dealing with Melody. Melody seems to be really successful at getting the majority of people off of their square, but there are certain characters that she just can't come up against. And I feel like Kimmy is one of them. Destiny is one of them. Maybe Stormy is one of them. And it was funny because I was thinking about these signs. I know you guys say Kimmy is an Aquarius, and I think Destiny's a Taurus, Stormy's a Leo, and Mel is a Scorpio. And those all 4 represent the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac. And it would make sense to me why they would have, how everybody's gonna have to walk away in respect. Ain't nobody winning. Ain't nobody changing forms. Ain't nobody getting off their square. We just gonna have to agree to disagree type shit, right? So yes, I thought that was interesting when it comes to the battles that they have, and the ones that are won and the ones that can't be won. And again, we're looking at some strong energy matches. But with Kimmy, I feel like, I don't want to say she studied Melody because I don't think that she's given Melody that kind of attention or time. But I want to say that she has a good grasp on what Melody is about. And I think that she kind of knows how to, I don't know. I think she kind of knows how to, she knows how to deal with that. Whether it's experience, maturity, life lessons, or again, just observation. She knows where to get her and how to get her, right? So yes, I was like, whoa, that's interesting. Let me get into that. So I have the spread pulled. I have the cards clarified, and let's go ahead and jump right into the reading And let's get lost in these cards. That's what I love to do. So the reading is opening up with the Queen of Swords. And that's clarified by the King of Pentacles. And that represents Kimmy and Maurice as a couple. But I'm also getting an energy from these cards of military type training. I don't know. Kimmy, did you practice this read? Did you practice this moment? Did you know what was coming and how these comebacks were going to play out a little bit? I don't know. Do you have a secret information about who's going to say what? I don't know. But to me, it looks like Kimmy had her read, quote unquote, planned. Or like I said, practiced for the most part. But what I noticed too is that Melody is not that strong in responding in real time. Not like with the other cast members. I feel like she's a good reader or shade thrower in the confessionals by herself, where she doesn't have to play off of the other person's energy or answer to them or be challenged in any way. But when it comes to that head to head, I don't know. My girl be like a deer in the headlights. I'll be like, hello, Earth to Mel, where you at? Where you at? You sleep on the job. But at the same time, with this King of Pentacles and this Queen of Swords energy, I feel like Kimmy was kind of prepared for you. Like I said, waiting for this moment, ready for this moment, practicing looking hard is what we call it in Cali. Named after each 40 song, I practice looking hard. So yeah, Kimmy and Maurice trained for this moment, okay? They trained for that read. It was written, it was planned, and it was delivered very efficiently, especially with this Queen of Swords, because she's a person who executes. And then this King of Pentacles is giving me plans. So I feel, and then the Queen of Swords, I mean, she has a whole sword in her hand. This is a strike. So yeah, this was a plan executed. So nothing happened that wasn't supposed to happen on the part of Kimmy, but we need to know why, because I have that King of Cups here with this Eight of Cups, and I feel that just because the King of Cups gives me that businessman energy, I've always kind of like related him in certain contexts to Carlos King. And then when I look at this Eight of Cups is about walking away or being dismissed after you've invested so much time or so much energy. And I feel like it was more like a shit or get off the pot moment for Kimmy and Maurice this season. I don't know if there was a conference. We have two kings in the reading, which represents a conference. So I don't know if Kimmy and Maurice had a conference or a meeting where they were told, listen, y'all gotta shit or get off the pot. You know, this is a season that you want to bring it, that you want to take the risk, that you want to stretch a little bit, or we're going to be looking at some replacements, because what are you guys really here for? So I'm not going to say that their confrontation is motivated by money, but I will say that Kimmy and Maurice were given a specific task of shitting or getting off that pot, especially when it comes to this season. This Eight of Cups is giving me dismissal, coupled by this conversation that was had. Yeah, your job was on the line. We have the Chariot in reverse and the Knight of Wands. This is showing that y'all did not have any motion. No motion at all. Now that motion could be popularity, but you can't really get popular in this series without breaking that fourth wall. I've been mentioning that a couple times because I'm noticing that even as other cast members start to become popular, it is because they are breaking the fourth wall. They are talking to people. They are talking to fans. They are giving them acknowledgement or clout, having them be moderators. All of these tactics were the same way that the millimeters were born and spawned. Next thing you know, we have a lot of passions. Next thing we know, people have blind support without knowing all the facts of a situation. Next thing you know, you trauma bonding and spinning. And this is everything that was involved in making the millimeters. You know what I mean? So you have to watch it when it's happening. But what I noticed about people who are creating these fan bases, whether it's Sunny, Destiny, Melody, they are the ones that are coming off and having direct relationships with fans. Kimmy doesn't do that. Letitia doesn't do that. Letitia does it through her mom, and that's why her mom has the type of same kind of fandom that the other ladies have. And so you gotta say, okay, Kimmy and Tish can't be as popular or as, impassioned about because they don't mingle with the help. They don't talk to anybody. You know what I mean? They don't talk to people. So they kind of, maintain that distance, but it does keep you from having, that fan. So anyways, or those fans or that motion, right? Chariot in reverse in the below is talking about the motion that Kimmy didn't have. And maybe there was a sense even of her and Maurice kind of dying out or being forgettable. I don't want to say like kind of fading into the background, but I feel like there was a sense of that with that Chariot card in the background energy. And I feel like that was part of the motivation. That feeling of not having relevance is what motivated the step up, and step into the spotlight and get your moment type deal. So Kimmy came through as a Queen of Swords in reverse. I think this represents Kimmy's personality, really. This Queen of Swords is confident. She's also very perceptive, and I think that's why I was picking up on her having studied Melody, or not even studied, but her understanding her enough to know how to deal with her, when to let her live, when to shut her down, when to draw the boundaries, when to make the fine line. With Letitia, it's a little bit different. Letitia is more so, well, we had an agreement, so let's honor the agreement casually, as Melody kind of flirts with that line. Kimmy is more so, that accountability person, right? Like, okay, you flirt with lines, okay, we flirt with lines. You know what I mean? So she can keep her on her square a little bit better, as far as those respect levels than Letitia can. Letitia seems to let people play with her. I don't get that from Kimmy so much, especially not coming in with this Queen of Swords energy. She's just too strong. And I feel like the Queen of Swords, she's bared a lot. She's been through a lot. And it's just like some things are just not going to be the thing that take her off. And these conversations, these interactions, they're not going to be the thing that take her off. They're not going to be the thing that gets to her. You know what I mean? And I feel like people maybe have a harder time, and this may be the Aquarius in her. Y'all, listen, Aquarius women, I love me some Aquarius women, but it's hard to find their weaknesses. You know what I mean? They are sensitive, they are lofty, and they do have their trigger points, but you're not gonna find that easy. You're not gonna find that in them easy. You'll more likely find a person you can't reach, or you have to wonder if they give a fuck, before you gonna find somebody who's just gonna give you open access to where to push their buttons. You know what I mean? And whatever you do try to do, they're going to see right through you. Whatever angle you're coming at, like I said, because she can see right through you, that helps them prepare for your angles, or prepare to come back at you in a way that's equally harmful. So like I said, I feel like maybe Kimmy precedes what Melody was going to say as her defense. Melody doesn't change her stripes. She does the same thing over and over and over and over again. So it's easy to clock, because she lacks the versatility that some other people can have, which is, and that's a good quality too, right? Consistency, perseverance, those are good qualities too, but you gotta know, you gotta be able to be flexible, if you will, right? Kimmy, with the Queen of Swords, is basically saying, no, we're gonna do everything in order. I'm gonna be fair to you, you gonna be fair to me. Whatever time you on, that's what time I'm on. We stretching the cords, we gonna stretch the cords. The Queen of Swords gives it to you straight, but they also give it to you fair. They're not taking more than what you took out of them. Maybe different, but not more. Now, Kimmy came with the body shaming thing, or the body read, etc. But at the same time, we talking about blogs. You want to talk about what the blogs say? We talking about what the blogs say, right? So this is a matching of energy that's kind of cold, kind of detached, very not personal, but very matter of fact, very we on what you on type of energy, right? Yeah, definitely. Melody is having a hard time reading Kimmy right now. And I think that makes her feel a little bit intimidated by her. There's an intimidation level when it comes to Melody's feelings towards Kimmy. And again, the real trick is that Kimmy struggles with her self-worth just like every other woman. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's her age. I don't know if it's the circle that she's in. I don't know if it's her dating a younger man. But at the same time, I feel like she's grin and bear so much, she carries her own shit. She carries her own weight throughout her entire life. But at the same time, I feel like it's given her a basic insecurity. Again, I've always felt in the past and other readings that I've looked at where Kimmy has looked at some of the other women like Tisha as privileged and whiny. You know what I mean? And really kind of petty, complaining about other things. But it's that Kimmy may have never had a chance to be a baby or privileged or whiny. She always had to hold her own nuts, if you will. You know what I mean? And so I think that insecurity comes in and having the inability to relax and receive, or to relax and to flow into that princess treatment, whereas you always have to be kind of like a queen. You know what I mean? So I feel like even though Kimmy's coming up as a queen in this spread, for some reason I'm getting some type of longing. I'm getting a longing to be a princess in her own right, for whatever reason. The Queen of Pentacles is here too. With the Queen of Swords, this represents competition. It represents competition. Now, I don't know who this competition is with, because we have a light-skinned and a dark-skinned woman. So I don't know if this is with Tisha or if it's simply with Melody. I don't feel like she's competing with Melody, because again, Melody is intimidated by Kimmy, according to the spread, right? We're talking tarot spreads. Don't be getting in my comments with all that. Just enjoy the ride, right? But Melody is intimidated by Kimmy. So no, it ain't no competition there. But there is a female rival. I wonder if it's Tisha. I wonder if they're both kind of vying for who's going to carry the show. We all know that there's this thing about the Scots. But at the same time, if Kimmy doesn't get in on that shine between Letitia and Marceau, like I said, her walking papers have pretty much been implied or insinuated by Carlos at one point or another. Now, I also feel that with this Chariot card in reverse, along with this Knight of Wands, there's a bully energy. I feel like Kimmy has felt like I'm not going to be a victim to the bullying, meaning that I'm not going to keep letting you get shots off on me, or I'm not going to keep sucking it up, or that they are being covert bullies themselves. Now, we talking about adults, so the word bully is kind of, it's sensitive, but I feel like with this Knight of Wands, I'm definitely getting some kind of like, I don't know, I want to get some bully energy. I'm really getting some bully energy, because I feel like this is about tension simmering. You know what I mean? And I don't know if somebody has been kind of like there's a buildup of frustration or anger, or there's something where I don't know. There's like something where maybe she's felt bullied over the years, or maybe there's something with Melody where she feels like Melody is some type of bully, but maybe it was like in an indirect way with this Chariot card in reverse. And so she can't exactly call her a bully, but at the same time, she's been holding on to some pressure. Like I said, there's been some mounting tensions that have been going kind of like over the years. And I think the origin or the core of those tensions have to do with her feeling like Melody is some type of bully or something like that. So it's like that's something that she holds in the back of her head through their interactions or through her observations of her. So when she comes in with this Queen of Swords energy, she feels no ways about it, because she's already clocked you for one thing or another. But at the same time, I feel like that's created some type of guard in Kimmy as well, that leads to you not making like hasty or not hasty actions, or like not like that, but at the same time it's like, okay, you're holding in the back of your head that somebody is a bully, and so when you come at them, maybe you give it a little bit too hard, because you're holding this preconceived notion about who they are in the back of your head. You know what I mean? So the fact that she has this underlying tension with Melody, when it's like she's applying the wrong pressure to a situation. You know what I mean? And so with the Chariot card in reverse, it's almost like you get passionate, right? Like you feel rubbed the wrong way, you feel passionate, but you have a preconceived notion about how this person is coming at you. And then you go in and you flame them. But maybe it was impulsive in a way with this Chariot in reverse and this Knight of Wands. But it wasn't impulsive because you planned for the moment. Remember, we talked about you being trained and ready. You know, you training like Ali. You know what I mean? Like you trained to get ready for that. But again, it's because you have this preconceived notion of her being a bully and you being determined not to come out on the bottom end of that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I feel like Kimmy's agitated. You know what I mean? And maybe even maybe low-key angry with Melody or something, you know, to the point where maybe she doesn't want to play fair anymore. You know, we as women, you know, there's an unspoken rule about body shaming, but listen, maybe she don't want to care for that no more. You know what I mean? That's just her choice. You know? Definitely. So let's move forward. So in above energy, we have the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands is that's usually that victory card, right? That's usually the people celebrating you, putting you up on a pedestal. You know, I could see this as you getting a lot of nice comments about how you did that or what you did. But to me, I feel like it brings into focus that insecurity, especially because it's clarified by this Five of Swords. See, the Six of Wands is about a victory. It's about you marching through the crowd, got your head up high, but at the same time, the crowd seems fake. You know, even the horse you riding in on, they looking like, you know, and then the people that are applauding you, they're not really your real friends. They're like strangers who never knew you. But at the same time, you're walking through this procession as if, you know, you did something, but you don't have really a connection necessarily to the applause and the praises for executing something or pulling something off, right? And I think that's why, and that's read in this context because it's clarified by this Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords, it's not that good of an energy. You know what I mean? It's more about unfair advantages. You know what I mean? It's like trickiness or think of trickster energy, think of bully energy, think of spitefulness. And again, I think that has to do with that below energy, that underlying tension that Kimmy has, that she just ain't really like put it on the glass. Like, say what you gotta say, do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I could look at this King of Pentacles, this Ace of Pentacles, and this Queen of Pentacles and say, it's about the money. It's Kimmy and Maurice's time in their life, in their mind. You know what I mean? They're stabilizing financially. I don't know. There's something that they're solidifying about themselves. I don't know if they've been working in silence, moving in silence, but Kimmy is getting that money right. You got the King and the Queen of Pentacles in the same spread with the Ace of Pentacles. This is the beginning of their money era. This is the beginning of that kind of success, or that what quote unquote motion. I don't know what they have invested in. Maybe something's still being worked out. But Kimmy's mastering her money for sure. You know what I mean? I feel like for the most part, Kimmy has felt, or in the past with this Five of Swords and this Six of Wands, Kimmy maybe was feeling like taken advantage of, or maybe that, like I said, she felt like she had to take the back seat to others and give that kind of best friend energy, that mammy energy, you know, the black best friend energy. But never the Regina George energy, never the starring cast member. And so, I don't know, I feel like she was carrying some type of chip on her shoulder, where she was feeling like she had to bear and grunt. And then, like I said, I feel like Letitia's here with this Queen of Pentacles. I have a dark skin and light skin. I feel like this represents maybe some tension with her too. Or maybe some tension between them will come out in the future or future episodes. with her feeling like she was pushed into a supporting cast role by the demands of these other women. And I think that's something that's all women can look at. You know, sometimes I look at that. When I look at times where I've been forced to choose a side because women want their enemies to be your enemies and your friends are both friends, but the friends is clicked up, but they both want to tell you everything, but they don't want you to be friends with somebody else. All of that is putting a limitation on you. And it's like, how dare somebody demand that of you? You know what I mean? It's totally selfish and totally rude, and they could change the course of your life with their demands that they're going to get over in a year, and you've sacrificed relationships, your own desires, things that could have been beneficial with you to appease somebody over some childish emotion that they had. You know what I mean? And I feel like Letitia has done that a lot with Kimmy, but not just Letitia, maybe. You know what I mean? But I feel like she's been forced to play her cards in a way that she has felt taken advantage of, or she has felt into supporting cast role. And maybe she like, fuck it then, I'm taking it to the bank. Let me support the cast by carrying these bones. Since y'all all want to bring it to me, let me pass a lick or two. This reminds me of my sisters. My sisters call me messy. I don't think I'm messy at all. Most people don't call me messy. Most people understand me. People with maturity understand me. But people who trying to be slick, they don't. My sister's got a bad habit of complaining to me about the other one. And so I try to bridge the gap and be like, well, she's feeling this, da-da-da-da-da-da, and she's feeling that, da-da-da-da-da. The problem is each one be lying to me in their own right. So when I be communicating the message back and forth to bring resolution, they think it's messy because they know they was playing with me. It's so funny. I'm the oldest, so listen, I be having to mediate a lot of shit. But at the same time, it's like, if you really want resolution, the only way to bring resolution is communication. That's how I feel. You know what I mean? Because the last thing I want y'all doing is arguing. If anything, I want y'all to understand where each other is coming from. But the details are always lost. Somebody putting a 2 on a 10, or they really just see it differently. You know what I mean? So yeah, I get a bad rap for that. That's why I don't do it no more. I just be like, whatever. But yeah. So anyways, this 5 of Swords is here. And the 5 of Swords is about resentment. You know what I mean? It's about resentment. And I feel like Kimmy she has a resentment because she gave up her shot at main character energy. You know, I'm talking about main character energy a lot. You know what I mean? And she was maybe tricked into playing, you know, the Gretchen winner, the sidekick. You know what I mean? And maybe that felt insulting to her in some type of way with this 5 of Swords, because the 5 of Swords is about resentment, but it might be on a subconscious level, and it might have to do with sacrifice. You know what I mean? She might, and again, she's a single mother. And then she went into being a wife to a man with a child that was younger than the child that she had just got done raising. Those are all things that, and then she was a nurse. These are all things that require sacrifice. And so I'm feeling like this untapped resentment, or this unresolved or unacknowledged resentment, comes from her having sacrificed, her playing a leading role in her own life in order to maybe appease everybody else. You know what I mean? The crowd that's really strangers to her on an internal level. When we talked about the crowd being strangers, them strangers could be your husband, them strangers could be your husband's family, them strangers could be your kids, the people at your job even. You know what I mean? Most definitely. So I feel that with this 5 of Swords and the 6 of Wands, maybe this is her now doing what she has to do to get ahead. You know what I mean? And taking a little bit for herself, which is a very important part of karma and a very important part of clearing generational curses and energy. You give a little, but you take a little too. And sometimes those of us who spend a lot of time sacrificing, we don't take anything. And then when things aren't going well, when our money is not up, when our things are not successful, we're looking around and we're holding on to these deep-seated resentments that make us sick, that eat us. But it's because you ain't took nothing. Tear a few patches out somebody's ass just because, right? Just because you're a human, and there ain't no such thing as perfect. There ain't no such thing as doing it right. Because if you do it right on the outside and you carry the pain and bitterness of the suppressed energy that you should have gave outside, but you hold it in under the guise of being good, well, now you got cancer, right? Because you've held on to the cancer. Let it go. Accept your imperfections, right? Accept that you may look stupid, crazy, vulnerable, all over the place. I've been all of the above. And again, I'm free. I'm free, right? I'm free. And that's the point, right? So yeah, 5 of Swords here, 6 of Wands. Now Kimmy's overcompensating. Now you overcompensating by what? Taking a little bit out. And I feel like she's taking a little bit out of Melody because she feels like Melody is a bully, and she feels like it's fair. It's giving me what's good for the goose is good for the gander type attitude. But the origin of this move is all about her. It doesn't have anything to do with the external. Sometimes other people just allow you that moment to get your shit off. You know what I mean? And then you have to come back and thank those people. Thank you for letting me live that out. You know what I mean? Thank you for letting me get that off. But yeah, maybe there's a part of her that feels like she deserves it. And then again, you got the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles. You got the Strength card over there with the King of Pentacles. I also feel like this is heavy Big Mama energy. Page of Cups, that's Maurice and his emotional immaturity all the time, sending Kimmy into mother mode, mammy mode, mother hen. But again, yeah, you're going to protect your relationship. Of course. You're going to protect your man for my man. You know, that's Sunny's line for me. Thank you for my man, That's Sunny. But Kimmy, this is giving me a real for my man. You know what I mean? As far as, don't come for me. Don't come for us. Don't come for him. All right? Now I sit back and watch you. Don't bring that. Don't bring that over here. It's kind of what I'm getting. You know what I mean? But again, I feel like Kimmy's riddled with resentments over feeling that others have had more privileges over her. And again, like she's supposed to take the back seat to everything in every moment. You know what I mean? And her not doing that anymore, and knowing and realizing that she has the power to create her moments. And anytime she wants to have main girl energy, she can pull up and snatch that. You know what I mean? She feels like if she would have had as much privilege as these women have had and their ungratefulness all along, she would have done so much more than what they did with it. Instead, she had to bear all these burdens and bear the brunt of this and bear the brunt of that. And then there's just a lack of respect that she has, not just for Melody, because Tisha's here as well. I don't know. She doesn't respect this spoiled girl, entitled. She doesn't respect that shit. In either of them, maybe. You know what I mean? Kimmy feels like she won Melody at this reunion, but her battle has just started. She about to get that ass wore out all next season, potentially. You know what I mean? And I feel like her allies her comrades, what do you call the people that's on your side? Her alliances, her allegiances, whatever, they finna switch up on her too. Maybe that's that Tisha. Maybe Tisha is about to get jealous of Kimmy and how Kimmy carried on this reunion, and next season, you know, it's gonna be them two. Because, like I said, Kimmy getting this one procession, but she about to be shucking and jiving and fighting all next season, arguing with somebody. But I feel like it's Tisha. I feel like Tisha's running interference, trying to get in on this. Like, are you being phased into the background? Do you not have a storyline? Are you the one that's refusing to let Kimmy pop up and pop out? And if so, then why let Melody carry the blame for that? Because this is honestly looking like Letitia is in competition with Kimmy. Huh? Because we know Tisha, she don't have that strength that Kimmy has. I'm not saying she's not strong in her own right. All of us women are different. But Kimmy is having them conversations. She's got that mouthpiece, but again, you showing up as a Queen of Swords, you gonna have that mouthpiece. That's what the Queen of Swords does. You know what I mean? But the Five of Swords here, energy, this is cunning, and I feel like I can't help but think of this is Kimmy kicking people when they're down. Like this is like a calculation of when to stick somebody. You know what I mean? When they're vulnerable is when you drive that nail in. Like, Kimmy, like, is you really mean like this? like if this is true, Kimmy, you mean as fuck. Damn. But again, I think that meanness comes from resentment. Deep resentment. You know what I mean? Like feeling, like I said, marginalized, or feeling on the side, or feeling, forced into this backup singer role. That's what it's giving me. Latavia, Latasha, Michelle type energy. Damn, we got Melody as Beyonce. We got Kelly as Letitia. Both are successful, have their fans in their own right. But we got Michelle over there still doing a gospel concert here and there. Damn. Definitely. Well, listen, Kimmy, you tried it and you got your lick, but you about to be swinging, bitch. Excuse my language, but you about to be swinging. You about to be swinging this entire upcoming season, and your alliances is gonna be turning on you, honey. Y'all gonna have to work really hard to make these storylines work, whether Mel is on that show or not. Between Kimmy and Letitia and I don't know, whoever the other girls are, they finna be having they fair share of shit going on. But maybe they feel like they can better control it, you know what I mean? As opposed to the shit they get into with Melody. I'm not sure. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of this reading, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.